I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a thing of water. I'm definitely going to need water for this.
Dude, I got a supply of Coke in a drawer right next to me.
Supply of Coke in a drawer? Is it in powder form, for God's sake?
May as well be. I'm just as strong of an addict.
Alright, you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, mark. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! No, dude, Wally, you sound like you're forced to say it.
I'm always forced to say things. What can I say? I'm a YouTube whore!
So, in the new year, do you have any resolutions, regrets about the past year? Let's start this way.
First of all,
what is your summary?
Well, I think we should just start off with how our year is gone. I think that's going to be a better story than just jumping straight into resolutions and stuff. So, a review of Buff and Wally's 2016. Buff and Wally actually managed to get together twice this year and hang out.
Hell yeah!
It was it's a pretty rare day.
We haven't done that in a long time.
Yep. Unfortunately, we grew up together, but we don't live in the same place anymore. We got, 2, 3 states in between us now?
1, 2, 3. 3, yep.
Yep, so
3.
It's kind of a long distance, and it's very seldom that I actually get to see this guy and hang out with him anymore. So it was nice to actually get a chance to see him and his wife, and I finally got to meet your guys' kids as well. That was cool.
I know, right?
Yep, and I can definitely tell that your daughter's going to be a hellion just like you.
Mm-hmm, and my son's a terrorist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Of course, when I saw them, they were basically passed out from a long day. So
yes, they were all tuckered out.
Yeah, so that was fun. It was for your... What'd you come back for the first time? I think it was your sister's
My sister's high school graduation. I promised her 7 years ago that no matter where I'm at in the world, I'd be there for her high school graduation if she made it there.
By God, you did.
Aside from me, nobody else in my family, well, me, my mom, and now my sister are the only 3 in the last 20 years to graduate high school.
Well,
so I told my sister, no matter where she's at in the world, I will be there for her graduation.
Yep. So that was pretty good. I mean, it was a good thing. I'm glad you got to come back. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to catch you during that time frame, and even if I hadn't, I'm real glad you got to come back for that one.
Oh, I'm glad I got to come back that one.
What else? The second time was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Went to spend that with my father and his kids. Well, my brothers. They're a lot younger than I am.
Yeah.
My father, just like my grandpa, staying active in the old age.
Oh, man. I unfortunately didn't make it back this Thanksgiving or Christmas, actually, to go see my family. I really wish that I could have. I probably really should have, but Thanksgiving I didn't get to. I really actually wish I would have. My younger brother's birthday. My younger brother turned 21 this year. That was a pretty cool milestone for him. So yeah. I got to go back, and I gotta say hi to him sometime, and we'll have to go out and hang out and have fun now.
21, the legal age of drinking, where it no longer becomes fun or of a chore.
Yeah, right.
All fun and games till you turn legal.
Yeah.
Then it's just.
I don't know. Games. I never drank much growing up. That was actually an odd thing about me. I know I have a lot of friends.
When I was in the military,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
When I was in the military, every single night that I wasn't in the field, it was like a 5th of Jack followed by a case of beer.
Yeah, that seems to almost be a major culture point of the military. That always tends to happen.
It really is, especially on the infantry side of that.
Yeah, I can see that. And the Marine Corps. That's a big one.
Yup. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we definitely know how to... Barracks parties are where it's at.
So about this time last year, what were you doing? I mean, it's going to be... When we release this, it's going to be, the first day of the new year. So what were you doing last year?
Well... The 1st of January 2016, I started my new job as and I quote, is my job title, Vehicle Maintenance Technician. And no, I'm not a mechanic.
You washed cars.
I mean, yes, I have mechanical abilities, but I clean cars for a living.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get paid to clean other people's vehicles.
Yeah,
And
now, is it more the
tedious
outsides,
and
or
disgusting at
is it
times.
like detail work? Is it basically a fancy title for a detailer?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just a spiffy name for a detailer, so we don't look retarded on our DD24 or on our what's that?
W-2s?
The tax. Yeah, W-2, the
Yeah.
tax form. That's the one.
Yep. Yeah, let's see. Okay, we're going to play a little game here. Do you remember what I was doing January 1st, 2016?
You were at Nico's party.
Kind of, sort of.
Oh,
it was
that's
after
right.
Nico's party.
I remember you were hanging out with people. We were on the phone. I forget if we were texting or talking, but you were bitching about what you had to do.
Yep, that's because I was dealing with the police, my local police department, because while I was away at Nico's party, some asshole broke into my house and stole all my shit. You know, I still don't have my guns back from that. It's been a year, and I still don't have 6 of my damn guns back from that.
That's annoying.
Yeah,
and one
it
of the
really
ones I
has
bought
been.
for you too.
No, I've got that one.
Did you really?
Yep,
That's
I've
good.
got
I
that
didn't
one.
know.
That one I managed to keep my hands on. Oddly enough, you know, even though those were probably that was probably like the easiest one he could have fucking taken and moved, didn't even touch it. So, yeah, I had a few guns stolen. Let's see, I had my PS4 stolen. I had, you know, oh my god, it was just a nightmare. My place was in shambles. Oh.
I mean, it's not normally.
Very funny, Hammy.
And the cop, the fucking bloodhound that he is, tracked that motherfucker through.
Yeah!
Like,
oh my god, that dude. Shout outs to that officer. I mean, that dude, to this day, I cannot state how much I appreciate that guy. This guy, it was him and his partner. They were the last 2 guys here. He had a funny feeling. He wanted to go out and take a look out where the guy had broken in one last time. And he found, you know, he's just staring at this partial of a footprint, right? Real soft, powdery snow. It had kind of caved in on itself, and he's just staring at it. Well, the weather had been absolutely perfect here this time of year, too, and it was so cold that when you step on the snow and it squeaks, and it saves those perfect markers and everything else, so any disruption in that snow will stay in that way. It had been that cold that night. I mean, it was bitter, bitter cold. I remember standing outside my house waiting for the police to show up, shivering like you wouldn't believe. And this officer, next thing I know, he starts tracing it back down my driveway. Or tracking it back down my driveway. And then starts going down the street, you know. And so he goes forward and he looks for a track, and he'll say, here, and he would point, and his partner, would come up, walk up to that track, and stand near that one, so that he always had a point to return to, a point of reference to return to in case he lost the track. And I remember I was in my house, and they had said, hang out here for just a minute, we'll be right back. I swear, it had to have been like 20 minutes, and they hadn't done it, so they hadn't come back. So I poked my head out, there's a squad car still there. I look down the street, I don't see him. So I just decided to go for a little walk, right? I'm walking down the street and everything else. And lo and behold, they had gone down the street and taken a right onto the next street. And there he was, still tracking this dude. And I caught up to him finally, and he was moving along at a pretty good clip. And unfortunately, the road they were on crossed a bigger road within our city. It was one of the main roads in the back area.
A plowed road at that.
It wasn't plowed. It hadn't been plowed or anything like that. Not yet. All right. It was just one that saw a lot of traffic. It would have been plowed, but it saw a lot of traffic, so a lot of cars were driving over it. And actually, while we were there, and he was like, "Oh man, this is going to be difficult." And while we were there, 2 cars drove right past. So it's like, "Oh hell, this is going to be a pain." So he just kind of goes, "Huh," and I kid you not, he literally goes, "Spot. Spot, spot, spot," just all the way across this thing, nonstop, clears the road and clears that in like 30 seconds flat. Man was a damn bloodhound, I swear to God.
Yeah.
It just cleared that entire intersection 30 seconds flat.
I smell a thief.
Yeah, right? He sure did that day. Well, anyways, and I still think, I'm probably one of the luckiest break-in victims ever because, I went back to my house and I went to bed. They just told me, we'll keep you updated in the whole 9 yards. I hadn't slept. Let's see. I had been up at that point for over 24 hours because I got up the previous day at about 6 in the morning to get ready for work.
Crack a noon.
No, 6 in the morning to go to work. I worked that night because New Year's Eve was Friday.
Because he was getting the next 2 days off for New Year's.
Yeah, New Year's
Something
Eve.
like that.
New Year's Eve was Friday, so I worked Friday, and then stayed up, didn't take a nap, nothing. Went out to my buddy's party. Came home at like 4 in the morning and found my place broke into. I just wanted to come home and go to sleep. So then I have to go through all that stuff. So I'm sitting in, and the worst part too is the guy left all the windows and all, the door and everything else open in my place. So literally the air inside my house was as cold as the air outside. There just wasn't the wind chill. I had all the heaters in this place cranked up as much as they could go, just trying to heat it up. So I literally sat in a chair. Actually, I think I sat in the same chair I'm sitting in now, bundled up in all my clothes, sitting in a room with my head down and a sweatshirt on, just trying to get some sleep. And I got a phone call.
You started telling us what had happened.
Yeah, I think I did tell you guys a little bit about what had happened before then.
You'd asked if anybody had, if your computer,
yeah, because my computer was on. If anybody had heard anything through TeamSpeak or whatnot.
Right.
So, I get the phone call. Lo and behold, this man, and this is why I think this officer is like the greatest officer in the damn world. He tracked him from my house all the way through town back to the front door of a house. They got a warrant, went in, found all my stuff, plus like 3 other people's things. And dude's fucking going to jail. Because, and here's the kicker to the whole story there too, the guy was a previously convicted felon. And for those of you who don't know, convicted felons are not allowed possession of firearms. Well, he stole 4 firearms from me. And where I happen to live, individual rounds of ammunition also count as charges of possession of a firearm as a convicted felon, and he stole several hundred rounds of ammunition from me as well. So this dude, here's perhaps the best kicker though. He was on parole. What was he on parole for? Possession of a firearm as a convicted felon. So he was already on parole for exactly what he just turned around and did again. So he went away for a long time. I mean, the dude, I look back on it now, and even at the time I laughed about it and went, wow, if my year's starting off like this, how the hell is it going to end? I mean, he came in, drank my alcohol, made a mess of my place, had fun going through my stuff, and I even wish him to this day. I hope you had a fun New Year's, because it's the last one outside of a prison cell you're going to see for a while. So, that was the start of my 2016, and then my 2016 stretched on into a whole lot of nothing. I mean, I got to hang out with you a few times. I've gone out, hung out with some friends a few times, but
played games.
Yeah,
bought a couple
games,
firearms.
Odds and ends.
Wait,
That's true. I have bought a couple
games?
firearms. Odds and ends here and there. I mean, had a lot of fun with it. I'm definitely ready to put 2016 behind me. Looking forward to 2017. I don't know. I don't think Buff has necessarily any resolutions, but I know I've got a resolution for 2016. Or, excuse me, 2017. 2016 is come and gone. Please excuse the idiot in the room.
Yeah, the elephant.
Dyslexia!
You son of a bitch, too. I know exactly why you said that. Okay, for anybody wondering why he's chuckling and why I'm chuckling, Wally's 2017 New Year's resolution, as cliche as it is going to be to lose some weight and get back into shape. So I used to be a hell of an athlete back in high school, and I really was. I was quite a good athlete.
Football, wrestling.
Yep, lettered 4 years in wrestling, 3 years in football, 2 years in track. I mean, I did track for 2 years only just to have something to do because I was bored out of my mind.
And none of them were long-distance sprints.
None of them were long-distance running, that's for damn sure. Wally's a bit of a big guy. But over the last, 7 years, I've done nothing when it comes to being in physical shape, and as such, Wally has turned into a bit of a... Let's just say that if I went to the beach, they'd try to put me back in the water.
I'd relate it more to a walrus or a manatee.
A walrus, yeah. At various points over the year, I've even had the walrus beard going on.
Oh God, yeah.
Walrus beard wasn't bad.
Oh, so yeah, I've definitely gotten a little bit big. So I'm gonna try and go through. I'm sick of sitting on my butt, not doing anything, kind of being out of shape, and I'm gonna work hard at it this year, and I'm gonna try and get back into a decent semblance of physical ability again this year.
Well, that is a very noble goal there, Mr. Wally.
Yeah, and Buff's gonna be
my goals, on the other
my
hand,
drill instructor for that one. That's gonna be the scary part.
It's not gonna be so scary because I won't be there physically that you know of. But,
that I know of. Meanwhile, there are cameras in my house right now and everything else.
Oh, yes. But anyway, so decompression happened. I grew a 1/4 inch this year.
You
Decompression.
didn't have much height to spare there, buddy.
No,
There's
I really
a reason
didn't.
why we call him the Buff Pocket Midget. He was about the...
Yeah, and I didn't give me that name. I was actually in the desert. Wally hit me up one day. He's like, "Hey, you getting the PS4? Maybe, sure. Well, you got a account for that yet? No. Well, it's free." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll do it when I get a PlayStation." He's like, "No, I can do it for you right now. What's the email password?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Here's my email. Here's my password to my email. Set me something up." Couple months later, I get back, get a PS4. I log in, Buff Pocket Midget, and I'm like, "Really, really, you had to go there."
I couldn't think
I'm not
of anything.
saying I was a bodybuilder in high school, but I was definitely a gym rat. In high school, I weighed my average was 160 to 180. My in between, what I kept constantly was about 170, 165, and my bench press was 325 pounds.
I mean,
my
the kid was a bit of a beast. I mean, he's a hell of a lot stronger than I was. He was arguably one of the strongest kids we had in our school. Top 5 without trouble. I would almost put him at 1 or 2 for being the strongest in our entire school.
To this day, I checked last time I was there. I still hold 3 school records.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know.
So, but anyways, he gets the midget title because he's about a whole head and a half shorter than I am.
Yeah, but you're like as tall as a fucking skyscraper.
I'm not that tall. I'm really not.
No, there are taller people.
You're
I'm
over
pretty
6
average.
foot, aren't you?
Just barely.
He's average for people these days. Maybe a couple inches taller than average, but he's definitely not the tallest.
These days.
So.
I'm like 5'7" to 5'8", 5'9". I'm 5'9". And Wally's like 6'2" or something. I don't know.
How tall are you, Bob?
Right now, I am 6'5" and 3/4.
You're 6'5" and 3/4.
Yep.
Minus 12 inches.
When I joined the Marine Corps, I was 6'7" and a half.
6'7" and a half.
No,
Yeah.
I was thinking 60. I was 67.
You realize you just gave me those You just gave me those measurements as 6 foot something, right?
Yeah, 6 of my feet.
6 of your feet. I can agree to that.
I was 67 and a half inches when I joined the Marine Corps. I got out at 65 and 3/4. I shrunk an inch and a quarter.
That is, yeah, you didn't have much to lose, buddy, and that was a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot considering my height, but yeah, I also got the pocket midget portion because I was always the shortest guy out of my friends group.
I forget. It was
As-
like in
as-
ROTC one of our years. We were talking about the different pocket midgets. And
Yeah.
I remember sticking my head into a conversation, right? Because I think you and I were getting ready to start off the flight and the whole 9 yards. And you and I, we kind of I stuck my head in the group. And I remember because I had grabbed you by the scuff of your collar. And I just had you at an arm's length, right? And you had no idea what was going on. And I go, hey guys, check out my pocket midget. pulled you in, right? Stuck you out in front of me, right? And I'm leaning down so that we're about the same head height. And I go, it's the buff edition. And ever since then,
I do remember that.
That's stuck. And I remembered that trying to set up this account because for any of you who don't know, we converted from Xbox 360 over to PS4, which is why I was asking him if he had his PS4 handle yet. That way he wouldn't miss out on it. Because mine was still available, but with a lot of people, I think, that converted from 360 to PS4, I didn't want him to miss out on it. Lo and behold, Buff's gamertag was actually taken. So I had to go through and I had to get creative, let's say, and make him a new one.
Yep.
So shall we talk about the future of the channel here a little bit, you think? Like
Say what?
Shall we talk about the future of the channel here a little bit, you kind of think? Kind of what we plan on doing here in the next little bit. So there's a few games that we want to touch on that we're going to try and do. So far it seems like our Battle Bros series has been a fairly big hit with all you guys. And we thank you very much for your support there. We're going to try and do... I know Buff has a few good videos lined up for all you guys as far as some of his more solo stuff that he does. We're going to try and refine our pipeline a little bit. That way we can get videos out to you guys in a more consistent manner. And we know that we've produced Battle Brothers nearly every Friday since we've started the channel. There have now been 2 Fridays that we have missed. And by the time that this video comes out, there will be 3 Fridays that we have missed, and I am sorry about that to anyone watching. We might try and deviate from Battlefield a little bit. We're going to try and look at a couple of games. PlanetSide 2 is on the roster. Hawken, as you've seen, has been on the roster for a couple of them. That's been a lot of fun. We're going to try and see if we can streamline our pipeline for solo content so that you can expect more... shall we say, manageable-sized videos, not these big
and more
20-minute
gameplay
in more of
specific games.
Exactly, in more of a routine fashion for you guys. Some of the games I know that are on my end that I'm going to start doing here. Wally plays Dark Souls is going to be a thing at some point. Never played Dark Souls before, never touched on any of them. So I'm going to go through...
That's going to be funny.
Yeah, I'm going to go through and I'm going to play Dark Souls for the first time. I've never even seen real good footage about what the missions look like, and ever since I decided that I was going to do this, I haven't bothered to look at footage because I want to be surprised. And I've had more than one person say to me that it's going to be hysterical to watch me screaming, "It has my leg!" as I'm drug around down corridors and things like that. So that will be something to look forward to.
When we have a bigger following, we're going to do Wally's Words of Wisdom.
Oh, God.
Where
of course you have to bring that up now.
What we want to do is we want to take subscriber or viewer questions. I read them to Wally, and he gives his off the top of his head answer. The solution to the conundrum.
Yeah. PlanetSide 2, we were going to look into that a little bit. It's got some good squad play aspects to it. Real big
There's
maps.
Also the potential for Minecraft, real old school. Me and you are both good at it.
Yep, we might have to see if we can do some Minecraft. I think Ark Survival Evolved is on the roster for some point. I've got a lot of friends trying to convince me to get that on the PS4. I've got it on my PC. However, I'm sorry, guys, that I haven't been putting out a lot of stuff. I know earlier on, if you look at some of my solo stuff, I have some Smite videos. I'll probably be doing more Smite. It's just my PC right now is taking a dump. I have to save up the money, and I have to get a newer, nicer PC so I can actually record some good videos for you guys. Because right now, what I can do with it just doesn't cut it. I mean, it simply just isn't going to work for what I want to put out for you guys here. So there's going to be some Ark Survival Evolved at some point, whether it's on the PC or whether it's on console is yet to be determined. If it was on console, you and I both have to buy it again, so that's kind of a deterrent there. Oh, what else is there? Scrap Mechanic. Scrap Mechanic's a fun game that I've got that I think I'm getting buff suckered into here shortly.
Oh, yes. But there's also the DayZ.
Oh,
there's
that's
a lot
true.
of hype. There's a lot of good media and bad media about DayZ. The good media being, it's a fantastic game, well built. The standalone still has some issues, and they're constantly working to fix the updates. But since the beginning of time, the bad hype has been all about people that join the servers. They cheat their way to getting the best gear, and then they go around and kill people just because they can. They take all the fun away from the game. So me and Wally, we want to create a survive off the land, you know, like a bug out kind of scenario in DayZ, where we, no kidding, live off the land, live off the components, which is provided by small towns, villages, no major cities.
Yep, we're basically
no
gonna
super spec military.
Yep, we're basically gonna try and avoid all major cities and all military installations, and going back into it, figuring out, you know, that you can gather like apples off of trees, and you can make bows and arrows now and different things like that, and do
And
fishing.
farm.
Yeah, and farming and things like that. That's kind of what we want to go into, and we want to, you know, kind of explore and maybe take a different route and approach to DayZ rather than the standard deal. What would you do if the cities and military installations were just, you couldn't go to them?
Overrun.
You couldn't go to them. So we're going to have some fun with that. So the DayZ will be a thing. Once again, unfortunately, we're limited by my ability to produce currency and purchase a new computer. If you guys have any games that you want to see us do some coverage of or give our opinion about, or even dive into as a brand new experience and experience our first moments in the game, clean through to the point that we become relatively experienced in the game, hit us up. Let us know. We're open to ideas and suggestions. After all, the whole reason why we're doing this is for you guys. So if you guys want to see something, throw it our way. I mean, we're pretty well open to any of that. Oh, the other one, Space Engineers. We were talking about getting back into Space Engineers.
And Unturned, as cheesy of a game as it is.
Yep. And then, for any of you more sort of PC Master Race people, yes, we do a lot of stuff on console. God forgive us. Once I get my new PC up, running, and built, I should be able to start bringing you some footage of Star Citizen. That's right, Wally plays Star Citizen. And I know the game has an interesting rap. A lot of people think it's going to be a scam. It's never going to come out. It's never going to be any good. I have probably put more money into Star Citizen than I should have. I have some cool fancy ships. And I have some really awesome ones. Some that aren't even implemented in the game yet that I've put money towards. Hopefully I can start bringing you guys some footage of that, whether we do some hangar tours and I show off some of my ships, or we do some actual flight time and you get a chance to go out and see them in action and see how I handle. 2.6 just recently dropped at the time of this recording. I think it dropped 26th. Yeah, I think it dropped Monday the 26th. 2.6 came out, and so that brought some huge changes to the flight model. I got to get back in there and change that. It brought out, like, I think 6 new flyable starships and things of that nature, so that'll be pretty fun to check out. And then I think as far as what we kind of have, that's kind of it. I don't know, Buff, you got anything else?
No, that about sums it up. I hope your New Year's resolutions are just as noble and as adventurous as Wally's and mine. If you figure out a way to make people stop shrinking or to initiate their growth again, I'd love to hear it. Some friends have suggested Miracle Grow.
My opinion to him several times has been to go out and, you know, get the stuff and kind of massage his scalp while saying chia and see if he can grow a couple inches or two. And so far he hasn't tried that, or at least he hasn't told me that he's convinced his wife to try that one yet. So other than that,
I could probably convince my kids to do it. They might think it's fun.
Yeah, they might think it's pretty fun. So other than that, guys, thanks very much for watching. We appreciate the support that you've given us so far through 2016. We look forward to bringing you an awesome year of 2017 stuff. Like we said, lots in the works, always open to new ideas, so hopefully we can keep this thing going and carry it on. I don't see why we can't. We're having a ball with it. We're having a lot of fun with it. So enjoy 2017, everybody. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. Like Buff said here just a little bit ago, stay true to your resolutions. Follow them through. I know that I'm going to be eating my own words on that here before long. So wish me luck, everyone, in that regard. Please like and subscribe. You know, I don't want to be
It's
the
free.
YouTube whore.
Like and subscribe. It's free.
It's free. It's free. Come on now. It doesn't get much better than free stuff, and it helps us out a lot. It really does. It doesn't seem like it does, but it really does. And the other thing that you can do that's absolutely free for us is you can copy the link to this video, and you can share it with your friends. It's a pretty awesome thing.
You can paste it all over the place.
Paste it all over the place. Spread it around. Share the love of Buff and Wally's miraculous, marvelous misadventures.
Okay, that's enough.
A little too many M's in there, I think, but
Yes.
yeah, no, I mean, we don't necessarily like to beg for them, so you'll see us say like and subscribe and things like that, and we don't like to beg for them at all, but it really does help us out when you guys do that, and we really, honestly, very much do appreciate it. We've gotten an awesome group of followers so far. They're great people. It's cool to see that, you know, steadily and slowly but surely we're kind of growing as the couple of months have gone on. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where you guys take us here in the future. So, you know, from all of us here at the Misadventures of Buff and Wally, Happy New Year's. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, share the video around, and have a hell of a hangover day.